Hi friends, Rotary District 3141 is one of the premier Rotary districts around the world, doing amazing work for the community. Rotary Year 2021 is a vision year with District Governor Sunil Mehra at the helm of affairs, wherein many new initiatives have been introduced to create a difference and make Rotary seen. There's a Givers Gain project to generate funds out of waste, which will be used to fund Rotary Foundation for various humanitarian projects. Under the Over is another project to beautify Mumbai and create utility spaces below all flyovers across Mumbai. Lots of efforts are also going on towards literacy, malnutrition, health, sanitation, and other verticals. Viz Biz Talks is one more initiative, a novel concept and vision here with an ideology to support Rotarians to support Rotary. Viz Biz Talks is also to create more bonding and proximity amongst Rotarians on personal, Rotary, and professional fronts. In these interviews, we speak to visionary Rotarians who, by virtue of their selfless work towards the community, have reached important decisive positions, and their actions today will help Rotary to serve more and make a difference in the community. I am Dr. Manish Motwani, a bariatric surgeon, that's a weight loss surgeon, and also the Chief Coordinator for Rotary District 3141 in the year 2021. And I'll be your host on the Viz Biz Talks. Friends, a very special guest today on the Viz Biz Talks. A charismatic, lovable, humble, involved, and an efficient Rotarian. Thanks, sir, for the ardent opportunity to interview and present to this august audience a man of stature, man of substance, a man of envy, Dr. Bharat Pandya. Dr. Bharat Pandya graduated from the prestigious St. GS Medical College, AEM Hospital, Mumbai, and is practicing as a general and laparoscopic surgeon since past 30 years. At present, he owns and runs Pandya Hospital in Mumbai, which is an ISO 9001-2008 certified hospital. He is a privileged member of various national and international organizations of surgeons. He has served on the board management of Jan Shikshan Sansthan, a Government of India sponsored vocational training institute, for 6 years, and also served as its vice chairman for 3 years. An innovator, motivated beyond power and excellence, Dr. Bharat possesses a great sense of substance in his speech and writings. His vision for tomorrow, friends, thoughts and actions go beyond the common man. Joined Rotary Club of Borivali as a charter member in 1989. He was a president in 93-94. Governor of 3140, then the Unified District in 2006-7. During a year as DG in D1 District 3140, friends, he contributed over $2 million to the Rotary Foundation, and first time in history of TRF, an Indian district became #1 in foundation giving in the entire Rotary world. He has served Rotary as Regional Rotary International Membership Coordinator, Rotary International Training Leader twice, Guest Chair, member of the Rotary International Sydney Convention Promotion Committee, member of Indian National Polio Plus Committee, training leader for Rotary India Literacy Mission, District 3140 COL representative to COL 2013, and guest trainer 8 times. He has served on the RI membership committee and was in charge of regional membership plan for zones 4, 5, and 6A for 2015 to 17. He has been RI President's representative at district conferences in India, Nepal, Pakistan, and Philippines. Rotary is lucky to have got the Rotary International Director 1921, such as Dr. Bharat Pandya. Bharat ji and Madhvi ji are committed to the Rotary Foundation and are level 2 major donors. He has been conferred citation of Meritorious Service and Distinguished Service Award by the Rotary Foundation. He has been conferred Rotary's highest award, Service Above Self. Dr. Madhvi ji is an obstetrician and gynecologist and was charter president of Innerville Club of Borivali. She was the district chairman of Innerville District 314 for 2017-18. Couple is blessed with 2 daughters, Dr. Nidhi and Dr. Sashmi. Friends, Dr. Bharat Pandya's talks and speeches ignite a fire in every heart that dares to dream. Today we are privileged to have an opportunity to listen to him. On behalf of all gathered here, I welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Manish. Thank you so much. Let me say, Manish, that I truly appreciate this initiative started by District Governor Sunil Mehra. And I think you are doing a great job by hosting these Viz Biz Talks and getting so many different people to talk on variety of subjects. I think this would be a great opportunity for Rotarians across the district and probably across the country to get to know different viewpoints of Rotary, Rotary International membership and Rotary Foundation also. So my compliments to you for this initiative that you have undertaken.
Thank you so much, sir. It's a pleasure and privilege. Sir, I would just like to tell you that this video is being recorded. And after this recorded video, we are going to be putting this on various social media. We'll be sending it to all the presidents. I'm sure that your video is definitely going to ensure that so many other Rotarians who are possibly want to work hard, but they are sitting on the fence, might jump into the pool and start working. There would be also so many so many non-Rotarians who would like to align with Rotary and become possibly members or at least join in projects with Rotary to ensure that we get more hands to work and more minds to think. So, sir, with this short introduction, I would like to go ahead with the questions.
Sure.
So, what drove you to convert from a member to a Rotarian?
Well, Manish, let me come straight out and say that when I joined Rotary in 1989, I was just a Rotary Club member for the first couple of years. Going to the meetings because the president called me or somebody called me, going once in a while, going to fellowships. And then the polio program started of Rotary. And I was the only doctor in the Rotary Club. So our then president, Shantilal Shah, he said, I don't know much about this. You are the doctor. You take care of this program. So I started taking care of this polio NIDs, National Immunization Days. And we had some really dark areas in those days in Borivali. 10 dark areas were selected by the Municipal Corporation of Greater Mumbai and in and around Borivali. And we had to carry the vaccines and go from door to door to pull the children out. Let me tell you, Manish, I am talking of 1991, when those areas were highly inaccessible. You had to have either a 4-wheel drive or a jeep to go. A standard ordinary car would not reach those areas. When we went into those areas, I started going from door to door, wanting to pull people out to immunize the children and convince them about it. You know, within those matters of the few hours, as I started going from door to door, convincing the mothers, coaxing them to bring their children for the immunization, putting 2 drops of polio in their mouth, a chord struck in me. And over those period of couple of months when the 2 successive NIDs were there, then sub-NIDs were there, I think I started gradual transformation from a Rotary Club member into a Rotarian. You know, involving people in service activities, involving people in areas of their interest is one of the best ways to involve members and convert them from Rotary Club members into Rotarians. And let me tell you, Manish, that as I gradually got immersed into this Polio Plus program, I truly realized the great impact that Rotary is having in the society. I realized the great work that Rotary is doing. And as I got more and more information, I realized that not just in polio, but in so many wide spectrum of areas, Rotary is doing truly outstanding work. You know, let me admit, Manish, that in the last 31 years now I have been a Rotarian, I have really truly realized the internationality and the vastness of Rotary. You know, German Chancellor Konrad Adenauer always used to say that we all live under the same sky, but we don't share the same horizons. I became a Rotarian and I continue to be a Rotarian because Rotary continued to expand my horizons, leading me to a different way of thinking and a better way of living. And that is why I am still a Rotarian.
So, sir, one specific point that I would draw out of this, which is a very telling point, is that if you involve a Rotarian, that Rotarian will become and remain a Rotarian for life, and you never know to what extent he will get involved. And once you involve a Rotarian, you also impact membership retention in a big manner. You have lovely working people with there all the time. And this is one of the best ways how you can ensure that any new member who enters your club stays with you, stays with Rotary for a very, very long period of time.
Absolutely. You know, that old saying is there that tell me and I will forget. You show me, I may remember, but you involve me and I will understand it.
Absolutely. Very truly said, sir. So once you got involved in Rotary, it was always important for you. And I have known you since such a long time, and we know that you are a very senior, one of the senior most laparoscopic surgeons in Mumbai, in India. We know that you also travel a lot. How do you manage to balance between your profession, your Rotary, and family?
So, there is no magic wand for this. There is no magic formula for this. But if I can capture it in two words, the words I will use, Manish, are aptitude and attitude. If you have an aptitude to do something and you develop the right attitude to do what is necessary to be done, I think you can always make time for whatever you require to be done and what you like to do. Let me give you this example. When I became president of my club, before I became president of my club, if you had asked me to stand up in front of 5 people and speak 10 sentences, my mouth would have gone dry, my knees, my legs would have shriveled, and probably I would have stammered and not spoken more than 2 sentences. But once I became president, and let me again admit here that I became a little reluctant president, because you realize that when I became president, I was just into my practice for for 5 or 6 years when they became president, because the club was going through some rough patch. But when I became president, I said that this polio program is a great program. We have to carry this program forward, and we have to do so many other activities and works. But I will put my best effort into the presidentship which I am taking up. So once I decided, and I also decided that I am never going to take up a paper and read my speeches or read whatever talks I am going to do. I am going to prepare myself. So people tell, you have great memory. You stand up and talk for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes without a piece of paper. Let me tell you, Manish, there is no secret again. It's only practice that makes this happen. So the point is, as I said, that if you have the aptitude, and I had developed that aptitude through the polio program, and the polio program was just the beginning point. And then there's so many other activities, whether it was water, whether it was literacy, whether it was some other health projects. And we had an outstanding, when I was president, we did an outstanding Lok Adalat project. At that time, the cost of that Lok Adalat, I am talking of 93. That time, the cost was some 3 lakh rupees. I think it would be 10 times more at present. It's not about the cost, but we had a 2-day Lok Adalat. So the point was that I decided that I must do my best in whatever responsibility that I am taking. And I think if we take that attitude, if we take a positive attitude that I am liking this thing and I will give my best shot for it, I think there is no better platform than Rotary to do true service above self to the society.
Sir, I just discovered 2 revelations, that a person like Dr. Bharat Pandya, whom everyone wishes to hear so much, that sir, how much we all are a fan of listening to you. Just we go all spellbound. He also had some hesitation in speaking when he became the president. This is some big revelation, sir, you've done. And second, can a club like Bombay, Rotary Club of Borivali also have a gray patch or gray area? These are 2 things. Borivali is such a lovely club, and we have always seen Borivali in the best possible manner. Possibly, I am in Rotary only since 21 years or 20 years, but we have always seen, sir, you as a person who we could just go spellbound just listening to you all the time. So this is also a learning for people like us, that yes, if we put in the hard work and if we have the right attitude and aptitude, we can achieve whatever we want to achieve. So thank you so much, sir, for these words of wisdom. This will definitely help us also in future, that yes, with determination, anything is possible and achievable.
Yes.
Sir, you are a laparoscopic surgeon, you are a GI surgeon, and in your practice also you would be seeing hundreds and hundreds of patients coming up with NCDs, that is non-communicable diseases, and you had a dual responsibility. One, you're the Rotary International Director, and at the same time you are a surgeon. You have your responsibilities towards both. So you very rightly came up with a project which you thought was one of the most deserving projects, because non-communicable diseases today leads to a decrease in GDP, leads to increase in death, and these are all those deaths which are preventable deaths. So you have very rightly come up with a project of NCD, which is Project Positive Health, and this project is brought everyone together, sir. Would you like to say something more about this particular project of yours and also the slogan which you had come up with?
So again, let me tell you, Manish, that this is not something which I claim copyright about. This is not my project. I think this is the need of the hour. As you very rightly said, it's a volcano which is waiting to erupt. In fact, let me correct myself here. Let me say that it's volcano which has already started to erupt. And if we are not careful, I think we are doing an injustice to the generation which is going to follow, because we are leaving them with such a huge burden of non-communicable diseases that the generation which is following us in 10, 15 or 20 years, those people will be in a lot of trouble as far as non-communicable diseases are concerned. Having said that, when I became director, I realized that now I have the opportunity to really make a pan-India impact, actually. You know, as a president, you can make impact in your club and in your surrounding community. As a governor, you can make impact in your district and maybe in the surrounding areas. But as a director, I truly realized India impact. And I was looking out for some project. And being a doctor, naturally, my inclination little bit was to look out for a health project, because Rotary was already doing good work in literacy. It was already doing good work in water and sanitation. But there was no, of course, Rotary had been doing excellent work in health related projects also, but there was no one project which was binding the whole country together. And I thought that this, probably when I was discussing with one of my nephrologist friends, this idea came up of non-communicable diseases. And I thought that this was a very, very good idea. In fact, you know, I am a surgeon, and I completely believe in curative healthcare more than preventive healthcare. Surgeons believe more in curative healthcare. Yeah. But as I started discussing with Dr. Umesh Khanna, who is my close friend and nephrologist, I realized that actually the future of healthcare now lies into preventive healthcare. It is impossible for us to cure each and every person and each and every disease that we come across. If we can prevent diseases from happening, I think that is the best thing that we are able to do. And therefore, we started looking at these non-communicable diseases. Now, you know, we are looking at the 4 big non-communicable diseases: diabetes, hypertension and heart disease, chronic kidney failure, that is chronic CKD, chronic kidney disease, and strokes. Actually, cancers are also non-communicable diseases. Chronic obstructive pulmonary diseases, means lung diseases, are also non-communicable diseases. But why are we choosing these 4? Because these 4 truly have a big impact. And we wanted to keep this project simple and easy for even non-medical people to understand. And therefore, while this project may appear like a little bit of oversimplification, it is very simple and very easy to implement and very easy for everybody to understand. Because I believe that the causes of these 4 big NCDs are 3. One is improper lifestyle. As you are aware that these are all lifestyle diseases. Too much stress, no adequate exercise. Second is bad food, especially our Indian food, which is rich in cholesterol, calories, salt, oil, and sugar. And third is lack of awareness or improper awareness about these aspects, actually. Probably, I don't know, as a doctor, I don't remember when I got my last BP checked. I mean, let's forget this COVID pandemic, but maybe 6 months, once in 6 months, we get our BP checked. So if that is the condition of doctors, and we are not talking about patients who already have hypertension or diabetes, but general population, I don't know how many regularly get their BP checked or blood sugar checked or find out whether they are obese or not, actually. So we thought of this know your numbers camps. Simple, only 4 parameters to be measured: height, weight, blood pressure, and blood sugar. Height and weight will give you body mass index, which you know that indicates obesity. Blood pressure will indicate hypertension, and blood sugar will indicate diabetes. And these 3, being bariatric surgeon, you are aware that these 3, obesity, hypertension, and diabetes, are the ones which are responsible for all those non-communicable diseases. So know your numbers camps, which makes people aware of these, they should be aware of their numbers. Second, as you said, again, this is not my slogan, this was slogan started, given to me, little bit modification has been done by me, given to me by my friend. This is slogan, you know, to really capture the attention of the people, you need to have something catchy. And we thought that this was a catchy slogan, the Ek Chamach Kam, 4 Kadam Aage campaign, actually. That is, Ek Chamach Kam is 1 spoon less of salt, oil, and sugar in our daily diet, which will decrease our consumption of these by about 20-25%. And 4 steps forward, 4 Kadam Aage is 30 minutes of exercise or walking every day, everybody should be doing. And this is something that not only we have to implement in our lives, but we have to get our families, our relations, our friends, our business acquaintances, everybody should be implementing this. And this is something that each and every Rotarian who is watching this YouTube, it is my message to all Rotarians that the Ek Chamach Kam Char Kadam Aage campaign, you must make this viral on all social media. I mean, maybe you could hold a spoon and say that I am subscribing to the Ek Chamach Kam Char Kadam Aage. Are you? Put it on Facebook, put it on LinkedIn, put it on, make it viral. Let each and every citizen of India become aware of this campaign actually. I think if we do that, I think that third important part of this is the school awareness program. Because it is difficult to change behavior for adults like me and you, Manish. It is easier to change behavior for the school children. And if we change the behavior for the school children, they will go back and change behavior for their parents actually. So school awareness program, and here the involvement of Rotaractors, and I hope that some Rotaractors will also watch this YouTube video. The involvement of Rotaractors is very, very important. Of course, for the Know Your Numbers camp, also for the Ek Chamach Kam Char Kadam Aage campaign, but also for the school awareness campaign. Because when the Rotaractors are involved in making this awareness at the school level, when they go and talk to the school children, if you and I go, it appears as if some older person is coming and giving lectures to them. But when the Rotaractors go, it appears as if some elder brother or elder sister is coming and talking to them actually, and it will create more impact. So these are the three prongs of this campaign. I hope that all the Rotary clubs will take up this project and continue doing this activity. This has to be carried on for 15, 20, 25 years. And probably our next generation will have a lesser burden of non-communicable disease. And probably that is the best gift that we will give back to the next generation.
Sir, these are such valid points. I, being a bariatric surgeon and a weight loss surgeon, I see this day to day that obesity, which was once nowhere seen around, India is now the second leading obese nation in the world. And we have already dethroned all countries as the diabetic capital of the world. Obesity is one of the leading causes of preventable death.
Yes.
And if these things are taken care of right from the school age, then it will really make a difference for the better and healthier next generation. Sir, I had actually spoken to Dr. Indumati about this. I have driven a campaign across Mumbai, which is Echo for a Change, eradicating childhood obesity program, Echo for a Change. And in this, we have gone to every school. We have already completed some 33 schools in Bombay and around 11 schools in Delhi. One of my friends associated with me after seeing the success in Mumbai, where we go to the schools, we take their markers, we check the height, weight, BMI, we do various other checks, and then they are not just given diet advice. We give the parents thousands of hundreds of options of what you can give in tiffin. We recheck them again after 6 months, that whether after our talk, our exercises and our guidance, has the child become more alert? Has the child started becoming better in studies? Is the child speaking less, sitting ahead, having healthy diet? And we recheck them after 6 months. So we have already done 4 rounds of this, sir, and it has been a phenomenal campaign. We have finished around 24,000 children.
Okay.
Yeah,
Great.
and I think so. Just going by what you were saying, I also feel now that yes, we are on the right track, because when a senior person thinks on these lines, and we have also doing on the same lines, yes, that means we are on the right track. And I'll continue to do this work too, sir, in time to come.
And please share this initiative which you are taking with me.
Yes.
And then we will see that in the next step, whenever this thing we progress forward, we can take this initiative pan-India also. Manish.
Definitely, sir. Echo for
we can talk offline about this after.
I'll do that. I'll surely do that. Yes. So membership is very important to Rotary. What is more important? Adding more members to a club or adding more clubs? How do we surpass this 1.2 million mark, sir, in membership?
So unfortunately, Manish, we have broken the glass ceiling as far as membership is concerned. You know, normally when they say in business breaking the glass ceiling, that means you are surpassing some goals and doing something outstanding work. But in membership, we have broken the glass ceiling in a negative way. We have actually we are no longer 1.2 million. We were down to 1.175 million. And now we have gone to 1.19 million actually. So there is no easy answer for this. There are parts of the world where Rotary is doing very well, where membership is growing in a very, very nice manner. some parts of Asia, including South Asia, that is India, Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and Nepal, Korea, Taiwan. These are growing well. In some parts of Europe, for example, Germany, the country of our Rotary International President Holger Kanek, Germany is maintaining a steady, it's not growing much, but it is not losing members also. But there are many parts of the world where membership is going down. For example, United States, the continents of Australia, that is Australia, New Zealand, in some parts of Africa also, and not Africa, but South America, I think they are going down. So both are important. The point is that we definitely need more members in our existing clubs. There is no doubt about it. But we also need more clubs, because there are many clubs and many Rotarians who are still tradition bound and who still resist. You will be surprised to know that there are still many clubs in so many parts of the world who don't admit women members. You and I will be very, stunned to know this. Not admitting women member doesn't just come into our day-to-day thinking actually. Today Rotary has to have more and more women into Rotary actually. But there are clubs in so many parts of the world which don't admit women members, who don't admit younger members because they want people of their type only. Males of around 55 or 60 years. And therefore, in those areas, new clubs are absolutely necessary. Also, clubs which have traditional thinking, which are tradition bound. I'm sure I have nothing against those clubs. They can keep functioning in the way they want. But Rotary is not only the way they want it. Today, Rotary is changing. You know, the young people have different aspirations. They have different expectations from Rotary. One of the questions that young people ask from Rotary is, what is in it for me? They want to know what is the value that Rotary is offering to them and what can they get out of Rotary. And not getting out of Rotary does not mean some money or something like that. It doesn't mean also networking only. Of course, networking is an important opportunity. But getting out of Rotary for young people could be self-development, leadership development. These are the things that young people are looking forward to actually. And therefore, new clubs are also necessary in many parts of the world. There are so many unserved areas. Let us take an example. In the city of Mumbai, population, how much? Maybe 17, 18 million. And we have how many Rotarians? 6,000. Maybe we must have added 300-400 more, 6,500. At the max 7,000. I don't think we are 7,000, but at the max I think we are 6,500. So the potential is there. New clubs. City like Sao Paulo has 9 Rotary districts, Manish. Sao Paulo in Brazil has 9 Rotary districts. Lions International in Mumbai has 3 Lions districts in Mumbai. So there is a potential. And I am talking specifically now only of our district and Mumbai. There is a potential to have new clubs. There is a potential to divide and multiply Rotary. Divide, what I mean by divide and multiply Rotary is maybe the district can divide into 2. I'm not saying immediately, maybe next 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. And that also results in multiplication of Rotary. So new members are necessary and new clubs are necessary. But there has always been a constant comment about quality and quantity of members. You know, you always hear some members talking that Rotary is no longer the Rotary which used to be in their time. The quality of Rotarians is going down. So I have a different viewpoint about this. When we talk about quality of Rotarian, whose quality are we talking about? Is it the quality of the person who is outside, who has never got a chance to come into Rotary? I think when we should talk about quality of Rotarians, we should be talking about our quality. Whether the Rotary experience that we are offering to that person who is coming to join Rotary, whether that is a quality experience, whether we give quality induction, whether we offer quality fellowship, whether we offer quality service projects to that member. I am sure that if we improve our quality, the person who comes into his or her quality will automatically improve actually. So we should first be looking at improving our quality, the quality Rotary experience if we offer to Rotarians. I am sure that membership growth is not an issue.
Very valid point, sir. So this year, DG Sunil also had looking at that. Yes, the membership is not growing in US and various places, but yes, in India it is. We've been seeing every year there is some increase. We are 5,800 such day, and Sunil had told us that we should be at least looking out for a net 20% growth and net 20 clubs, because there's so many bounded societies where there are 20 buildings, 20 towers with almost 800 flats and not a single Rotary club. Sir, I was myself handed over the responsibility of starting 3 new clubs. And just to tell you, sir, I have not yet announced, but we'll be sending for a charter of the first club in about a week's time. And we are already in process of making the second club in a nearby suburb and the third club in South Bombay. So 3 clubs would be possibly. Sunil has entrusted such a big responsibility on me of being the chief coordinator. This was the bare minimum that I could do to ensure that we bring at least 100 new members to Rotary in 2021 through some efforts.
Good. So one of the issues, Manish, that is we are facing in our part of the world is the retention. Actually, we are able to get new members, but the important thing is the retention. Again, it comes back to the initial point which you started with, involvement. Actually, I always say, you must have heard me saying that when you drink a cup of coffee, the sweetness in the cup of coffee comes not just from adding the sugar; it comes from the stirring the coffee. Actually, only if you stir the coffee, the sugar will get dissolved in the coffee. Similarly, adding the members is necessary, but we have to stir them and shake them and assimilate them and involve them. Then they become, part of the fabric of our Rotary clubs, and then they will stay in Rotary.
True, sir. Sir, foundation is very dear to you. Though you're not a person to work as per targets, yet you made the then District 3140 proud by making an all-time record contribution to Rotary Foundation. Over the years, though we have been number 1 or number 2 givers in the world, we are still net receivers. Rotary Foundation is thus getting depleted. We have taken various efforts in 2021 to increase foundation giving, especially to the annual fund. Givers Gain is a live example where you give through your waste. Can you please suggest some ways to replenish the annual funds?
So, Manish, the important thing was not that 3140 became number 1 in the year when I was governor. The important thing was that we were able to change the mindset of the Rotarians of the world. That Indian district can also become number 1 in foundation giving. That we don't keep on only asking, but we also believe in giving to the Rotary Foundation. So that change of mindset is what is necessary. We need to have ownership of our Rotary Foundation. Let me come out frank and say that it's good to give to endowment fund, it's good to give to restricted giving, but each and every Rotarian has the primary responsibility to give something to the annual fund every year. Because the annual fund is one which drives Rotary, which makes the foundation what it is actually. Without the annual fund, and as you are very right in saying that the annual fund contribution in our part of the world is gradually going down. It's down about 20-25% as compared to a couple of years back, which is actually an area of great concern. Because if the annual fund is not replenished properly every year, where will the global grants come from? Where will all the great projects that we are doing that will come from actually? So each and every Rotarian. So as you said, that couple of things. One, that the message has to go across to the Rotarian that it is their Rotary Foundation. By giving to the annual program fund, each and every Rotarian should have a sense of ownership to the Rotary Foundation, that this is my Rotary Foundation and this is the money that I am contributing, which is benefiting people across the world. Second, convey to them the principle of effective giving. I have always said that giving to the Rotary Foundation is effective giving. When we give to other organizations, we are not sure how the money will be used. And I am not trying to criticize other organizations, but they may use the money for paying salary to the staff or buying premises or administrative purposes, and also use it for projects. But when you give for Rotary Foundation, 95% of the money that we give is used for the projects. Okay, so this is the concept of effective giving. The money that we give is used by other Rotarians. It is used wisely and well, and it is used efficiently, effectively, transparently, and for the purpose for which we are giving that. So that concept of effective giving, and third, of course, the joy of giving. Jewish philosopher Maimonides described 8 levels of giving, and this is not the time to describe the 8 levels. Level 8 was the lowest level, and level 2 and 1 were the highest level of giving. Level 2 giving, he says, is where neither the donor nor recipient are aware of one another's identity. And level 1 giving is the giving where a person gives money, time, resources to make somebody else self-sufficient and self-reliant. And Rotary Foundation giving is that level 2 and level 1 giving. The money that I am giving to the Rotary Foundation is going to benefit which person in which part of the world, we don't know. Absolutely. But the blessings of that person are going to be there with you for years and years and years to come. And foundation giving is giving sustainably. the key word for Rotary Foundation is sustainable activity and sustainable projects. The aim is not just to give fish to the people, but the aim is to teach people to fish so that they can earn a livelihood and stand on their own feet. And if we can convey these couple of messages to the Rotarians, I am sure Rotarians are large-hearted people. I am sure that each and every Rotarian will give something to the annual fund.
Definitely, sir. You said some lovely words over here. And today I have just posted one interview of Rotarian Girdarilal Modi, who's an Ashlam Society member, where I took the liberty of using these words of yours. Sir, if you get a chance, it would have come to your WhatsApp also. Please do see, I've already posted that. It is with these words of yours that you said that the joy of giving and why you should be giving. I've already used them today because I don't know whether you are aware, but I'm a great fan of what you speak and what you say. Sir, another thing that I would like to tell you is today in District 3141, only 30% of the Rotarians are giving to the foundation. Every Rotarian gives something, sir, whether he would give his time, his money, his efforts, his expertise or his experience, whether he would do for club projects, they all give. But what we saw that only 30% were giving to the Rotary Foundation, and that is also one of the reasons we are net receivers and not net givers. We contribute $4 million, out of which $80,000 come for the annual fund. This is not how we could be able to sustain. Last year, it was a phenomenal job done, sir. Lovely. Harjeet ji has done some extraordinary job last year. But finally, what we are seeing that we are still net receivers. I feel we should be in a time where we are giving $20 million and for global grants, we are taking $5 million. Rotary 3141 should be such a district with you being our representative, Gulamji being our representative, Ashokji being our representative, with Kalyanda at the helm of affairs when he was, and with so many Rotary International presidents being Indians. I think so. This is a time that India has to come out of all those shackles and be net givers than net receivers. So that is the reason what we started was Givers Gain project in District 3141, where you give through your waste. Sir, I'll give you a small example how we drove this. I convinced one of my friends to give something through waste. Sir, a small example, it will just take a minute. He called me up, Manish, you wasted almost 45 minutes of yours in convincing me to give my waste. I gave around 65 kgs waste and that generated only 300 rupees. Why did you waste so much time? You could have told me, I wouldn't have given 3,000 like this. No, that was not important. That was only to give you a feel. Sir, he's a non-Rotarian. I said, now I know whom I am speaking to. I said, how many flats on your floor? He says 4. I told him, write 300 into 4. I said, how many floors in your building? He said 30. I said, write into 30. I said, how many towers in your society? He said 8. I said, multiplied by 8. He said, I told him, what is the total? He said, 2,88,000. I said, forget 30% people who will not listen to your appeal. He said, okay, I minus. It came to 2,01,000. So from that one society of a non-Rotarian, we could collect 2,05,000 rupees, sir, just by giving waste to annual funds. We are 5,800 Rotarians. We are 10,000 Rotractors. Sir, don't you feel it can create a huge change?
Absolutely.
And this is, sir, what we want to drive in front of everyone, that we want to replenish the annual fund. But sir, what else will happen with this is, instead of 30% Rotarians giving to the Rotary Foundation, we want 100% Rotarians to give to the Rotary Foundation. And if this happens, probably we will become a ER. Every club will be a EREY club. Every district will become our district will become a EREY district. Plus, what major contributions come in front of non-Rotarians or by entire societies, that will be a totally different ball game altogether. So this is DG Sunil's idea, which he has entrusted upon me to ensure that we spread it to every corner of District 3141. We have been fairly successful with everyone's support, with blessings of seniors like you all. I'm sure we'll be able to achieve the targets. We'll be able to ensure that Rotary Foundation flourishes again, so that small and big clubs can do global grants in the manner they are supposed to do.
And it has the potential to create a positive public image for Rotary. Yes. And also potential to have membership growth amongst these people, many of whom would be non-Rotarians actually.
Definitely, sir. Definitely.
Good job. Well done.
Thank you, sir. Sir, a final question to you. What changes would you like to see in Rotary by 2025, and what changes you would like to see in Rotary in India?
So it's like this, Manish, that I think if we keep on doing the same things and expect different results, I think then we are living in a fool's paradise. So to have different results, to have more impactful results, Rotary has a great name in society. Rotary is respected by United Nations, WHO, and so that. But to really realize the true potential, probably Rotary needs to change. And one of the changes I am looking at is that I'm looking for, at least our board of directors looking at is more and more regionalization. You know, the needs are different in different parts of the world. What is the need in India may not be the need in America. What is the need in South America may not be the need in Africa. Different regions have different needs. And therefore, probably there will be more regional, as I see in the next 3 to 5 years, we'll have more regionalizations. There could be some regional councils. Maybe there will be 3 or 4 regional councils in India who would probably oversee the main activities. There could be, and then we would have things moving down, because unless we are able to meet the needs of the different regions, I think Rotary cannot realize its true potential. So that is one of the things that I am looking for, is the regionalization. Another thing which is always a challenge, and I'm not saying that we need to change this, but we definitely need to think about this. You know, our leadership changes every year. Where leadership doesn't change, but leaders change every year. And therefore, this is a huge challenge. You know, therefore, so many times in many parts, Rotary appears as a touch and go organization. In a year, a president comes or a governor comes and does some activity, and then next year something else is done, third year something else is done. So that touch and go organization, that continuity is probably what we are sometimes missing. And I would like to see that change, that continuity at the club level, at the district level, and at the international level. At international level, let me tell you that there is now a lot of seamlessness and continuity. Because the Grow Rotary initiative, for example, which was started by President Mark Maloney, is being continued by President Holger Kanak, is being continued by incoming President Shekhar Mehta, and will be continued by soon to be President nominee Jennifer Jones, will be continued for next 5 years, the Grow Rotary initiative. So something like that, initiatives have to be continued across the club and district levels, and that is the change I'm looking forward to. As far as our part of the Rotary world is concerned, you know, one of the issues that happens in our part of the world is that we are so passionate about Rotary, we get so involved in Rotary that sometimes we become little intolerant if things don't work out to our satisfaction or our benefit. Actually, I always believe that ambition is not a bad thing, Manish. A person who is not ambitious cannot become a good leader. But how we handle our ambitions, that is very important. See, you and I cannot agree on everything. If we agree on everything, there is something wrong somewhere. We definitely have different viewpoints and we can agree to disagree actually. But the important thing for us is we should disagree without becoming disagreeable. And that is the change I would want to see. I want our more tolerable. Tolerance level of our part of the world has to increase. We have to accept sometimes some things which probably may not be suitable to us or may not be palatable to us, but we have to accept things and move forward. I think working together, I'm not saying compromising on your integrity. Of those who firmly believes that there should be no compromise on integrity. But small compromises, leaving something aside, being more tolerant to people, being more open to different viewpoints, being more flexible and adaptable, I think that is probably the need in our part of the world. And I'm not talking specifically of any club or any district or anything. In general, as a director, I have seen Rotary functioning in so many parts. And you know, so many times it happens that there are complaints and all those issues come up. I want these things to go down, because ultimately, what is the aim ultimately? The aim is to make our clubs better Rotary clubs, to make ourselves better Rotarians, so that together we can make our world a little better place to live in. If that is the aim, I think there is no room for any quarrel and intolerance. So that is the change I would like to see in our part of the world.
Definitely, sir. And you know, this is also like respecting. We have our own point of view. We always feel that we are right. We have to also consider the other person's point of view, because the one most important thing in Rotary is the diversity. We are not working with our subordinates or our seniors. We are working amongst equals. We should respect others' ideas. There could be times that there could be, you might disagree, as you rightly said, but then respecting the other one's point of view is also something what Rotary teaches, that Rotary has definitely taught me to. And I feel, yes, if that can happen the way you are saying, It will definitely change the way Rotarians look towards Rotary and outsiders also look towards Rotary. Sir, it was a lovely time with you, sir. First of all, thank you so much for the privilege given to have this interview. It has been a lovely experience with you on Viz Biz Talks. We would like to take the liberty of posting these videos to all Rotary clubs, social media pages of Rotary District 3141. So your interview is also going to be viewed by all Rotarians and non-Rotarians. I'm sure this interview will inspire many others to work with Rotary or associate with Rotary for service projects. Since you're also a strong supporter done by Rotary, sir, you're looking forward to doing our bit to support Rotary and thus support mankind through your blessings and your kind support, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for your presence. It has been an absolute pleasure to host you on this Viz Biz Talks.
Thank you, Manish. Truly, you are fulfilling the theme of this year, Rotary Opens Opportunities. You are opening opportunities in so many different ways for Rotarians to have access to so many different viewpoints. Good job. Well done, Manish. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.